So our van was an old painter decorator slash grouting company's van. So it had loads of crap all over the floor. Things like grout, paint, various different glues which were super strong, chipboard, you name it, it was on the floor. So we used loads of different tools to try and pull the stuff up. The most effective, however, was a wire brush on the end of a drill. This cut time in half. It was super quick, super effective. For the more challenging spots, we used things like chisels or wire wool. For the majority, the wire brush worked perfectly. We tried not to scratch the original paintwork because ultimately that's the best protection against rust. But in a few places we did score it, but it's okay because we were painting over it anyway, but try not to. WD-40 is a great solution for lifting up grime and just making it a lot easier to rub over different surfaces. We had a lot of loose debris, so we put a blanket down to catch all of the particles flying out the back of the van. This is probably a bit overkill, but it got the job done fast. Thanks to my dad coming and helping, we smashed it out and got it done pretty quick. Next was dealing with the old screw holes holding down the old floor.
So we're just going over it with the grinder now to get rid of any of the rubbish off there so that we can fill in all the holes.
The aim of this is to take the rough burrs off the holes where the screws were and just get it down so it's smooth and flat.
After taking the burr off, we want to leave a small bit of metal showing, but not too much, just so there's enough to stick the epoxy resin to.
After having a quick sweep to remove all the metal burrs, we then moved on to a deep clean.
So now the floor is relatively clean. We're going to start on the walls first. I'm just using a Dettol solution, or Fairy Liquid's good, and just get all the grime and all the grease and the dirt off the sides. And then once you've done the sides, you can start on the floor, and then just wear socks so it's you're not getting dirt or nasty stuff in it. The cleaning did take quite a while, probably about 3 to 4, possibly 5 hours, because we just did it super deep clean so that we could get cracking on with filling the holes and straight into painting. We used microfibre cloths and also one of those green and yellow washing up sponges because they can lift dirt really well. Now we're filling the holes where the screws were. There are different things you can use. Some people use silicone, and I've done a little bit of research on it, but not too much. But yeah, we're going to go with epoxy. It says on here, for all materials, long lasting, fast setting, cars, vases, boats, all sorts of stuff. And it bonds to things like woods, metals, glass, leather, cardboard, fabrics, rubber, so quite a lot of things. So we are using something called Araldite. Now this is a 2-part solution of epoxy, which basically fuse together, make a chemical reaction and bond together really strong. This is also a reusable tube, which is really handy. Just here, this basically pops out like so. And then once you take the top off, you can pop that on there. So we are going to use the pack and take it off like that, and we're going to use that for our solution. So we take the top off and that releases the resin. So it should be a simple case of putting some in here. There we go. So we're going to go with that for now, and we're just going to mix that together So as you can see, it started to make weird colour, starting to fuse together, and this stuff needs using in 5 minutes, so we're going to be pretty quick. So one of the things we've just learned is that we're actually struggling to find every single little hole. So learn from our mistake and put a little bit of Sharpie or pen or something, a bit of tape or something just next to the hole so you can find it. Yeah, and it also helps is when you're treading, you can actually see clearly where not to tread, because you end up getting your sock all gluey and grim. So learn from our mistakes. That is all the holes filled, which is good. Yes, I recommend this stuff. I think it's brilliant. It was really easy because we had to actually stop and start a few times. So it was really easy that you could just pull the cap on and off. Yeah, really good. Yeah, so we've, as I said, we've done the holes, we've clogged them out, put the stuff in, plugged it over. Next thing to do is just to come back in the morning or after 2 hours and
File.
Yep, file them and paint over them. So we're heading to bed, but we'll see you in the next bit of the video. Don't get sticky feet. The next day we came in to see if the epoxy had gone hard, and it had. Covered all the holes brilliantly. So the next stage was to crack on with the painting. The bit that needed the most attention was just by the back doors. It was pretty scuffed and beaten up, so we made that a priority. However, if you do it this way, just constantly make sure where you're treading, because you end up with paint on your socks. My dad and I cracked on with the floor, just kept going, and eventually we got it all finished. We were super happy with the end result. Everything came out really well. The last thing to do was just wait for it to dry. The floor is done. Super happy with it. We've basically we started off doing like the little bits. There was a little bit up here, bits of rust, bits of like little dents, where the screws were that we put epoxy over, the little holes. So we've done all of that stuff, but we had loads of paint, so we just thought, right, let's just do the whole thing, which is a bit unnecessary. 50 cutters are all galvanized anyway, so you're pretty safe from the inside. But yeah, we had loads of paint, so we just thought, let's do the entire floor. But the next video is going to be putting the floor in, which I'm super excited about, because we've done all like the fundamentals, all the foundations, all that kind of stuff. So now we get to move on to the building, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be great. So excited for, as I've already said. We can actually start doing some stuff and see some progress. So yeah, thank you for following our videos. If you are, thank you for subscribing. If you have, thanks for liking them if you have. And yeah, thanks for just following us on our journey. There is now a Instagram channel you can check out, Where the Wind Goes. I'll put that in the link. But yeah, all in all, thanks for joining us and hope you enjoy the videos.